The topic of today's video is Endgame cosmetics. Destiny 2 has a ton of raids and dungeons currently, but the one thing I believe it's missing is cosmetics. Not like we don't have cosmetics in these raids or dungeons, but I don't think that they are the correct type of cosmetics. I'm talking about exotic emotes. Exotic emotes are something that I feel like the entire Destiny community loves, especially with the direction Bungie has taken them in this game. They are very unique, fun, and limitless. But why don't we have them in Endgame? Back in year 1 of Destiny 2, we did get exactly what I'm talking about in Spire of Stars. We got an exotic emote that was also themed to that specific raid, and it was universally loved. If you weren't around back then, the emote was you sitting in Callus's chair with a chalice in your hand. This day, I'm still so confused why Bungie didn't replicate this in future raids. I would love Bungie to spend time designing exotic emotes for each raid and dungeon that we currently have in the game. Also, these emotes should be themed for that specific raid and dungeon. Without spending an insane amount of time and thought on this, I have already come up with very quick ideas for each raid in the game. For Last Wish, you could have an emote where you are crouched on one knee, petting a baby little mini Riven. For Garden of Salvation, the emote could be your guardian sitting on the ground surrounded by beautiful flowers, aka a garden. For Vault of Glass, the exotic emote should have just been the one that they put in Eververse, where it's you sitting on Atheon's throne. I understand that they, need to make money and stuff with Eververse, and that's fine. So they should have just made 2 emotes. Again, the Atheon throne one should have been in Vault of Glass, and then they just could have made another one and put it in the store. For Deep Stone Crypt, you could have an emote of you riding on a mini Tanyx. His little hovercraft thing that you fight. I don't know what it's called, but you know what I'm saying. And lastly, for Vow of the Disciple, it could be you wielding the darkness power that Caretaker and Rolk both use throughout the raid. I would like to point out that all of these ideas I spent less than 1 minute on, so it's really not that hard to come up with something. I'm 100% positive Bungie could come up with even better ideas than I have just done. Now to implement them into the game. I would personally tie all of them to the end boss, but I would add a unique twist. So instead of having it be a random drop from the boss, like it normally is, I would have a chest that appears after you defeat the final boss. This chest would have a random chance of this emote in it, but for the entire team, not just you. Every single person in the fire team now would roll a dice from 1 to 99, and you would get a random number. The person with the highest number gets the emote. Once you've gotten the emote, you can never roll on that specific emote again. Now, for anybody that's watching this video that is a fan of Final Fantasy XIV, you may be thinking, this sounds really familiar. It is. This is exactly what Final Fantasy XIV does with their mounts and in their endgame. I personally love this system, and I think it would fit perfectly in Destiny. I would also make this completely farmable, so if you and your friends wanted to spend a night farming for this emote until everybody got it, you could. And lastly, I would add bad luck protection with some sort of item you get after each clear, and once you have 99 of this item, you can just buy the emote from a vendor. Again, if you are a Final Fantasy XIV player, this exact system exists in that game, and it's perfect. It gives tons of replay value to endgame activities, but also doesn't hurt players who don't play raids or other aspects of endgame, because it's not a weapon that could potentially be in the meta. It's just a fun cosmetic that says, hey, I played this raid a lot and got this cool trophy. Now, I only talked about raids, but I would also add this same system to dungeon bosses as well, where they would also get their own unique emotes. And I would keep everything the same with the chest and bad luck protection. The best part about this system is you could add even more to it than just emotes. This chest at the end of boss encounters could have emblems, ships, sparrows, and ghost shells. The only reason why I said emotes is because I believe these are everyone's favorite cosmetics in the game currently, and we haven't seen one tied to any endgame since year 1. I don't know about you guys, but I personally love Destiny's endgame activities like their dungeons, raids, and secret missions, and I just want more reason to play them more often. So that pretty much wraps it up for my idea. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully something like this can be added in Destiny in the future, because I do think that Destiny has fantastic endgame activities, but currently it doesn't feel like we have a lot of replay value with each one. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.